Okay. I think we are we are live, Nikki. How are you? This is JTInTheRaw, and it is just, I'm going to take these off because they make me look too smart. It's JTInTheRaw, and it's a special episode. I got Nikki all the way from New Zealand. Hi, Nick.
Hi, how are you, JT? Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I'm fantastic. And look, who knows how many people are going to tune into us today. But one of the reasons I've got you on board today, Nikki, is we were sitting next to each other at the New Zealand Awards, and you said to me that you watched JTInTheRaw. I said, well, finally I've met the one person that watches it. And you've implemented an idea. So we're going to talk about that shortly. But just for everybody watching, who are you and where do you come from?
Okay, hi, I'm Nikki Williams. I originate from the UK, and due to the military, we got moved to NZ 10 years ago. And I've been a self-employed sole trader for 8 of those years. I am a personal trainer, group exercise instructor, and life coach, and I have Positive Choice. So
that's a really interesting name for a PT business. It's not like Nikki Gets Strong or Nikki Buffs You Up. How did you come up with Positive Choice?
So I started with my values, and my values all lead back to making each choice that we make a positive one. And it really wasn't about getting everybody exercising with me. It was more about everybody, in each individual, deciding what the best choice for them at that moment was. So that's really my business, and my community, online community, is about asking people to maybe look at the habits that they have and just trying to make a more positive choice with food and exercise and lifestyle in general.
And are you an outdoor trainer, or are you in a gym, or?
My PT is based in a gym. I do small group training at businesses. So I spend some of my time going to workplaces and working small teams. And then I have 4 contracts around about where I go and teach group exercise. So it's a mixture. I have a varied life.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How long have you been doing it?
30 years, and this business 8.
Did you just say 30 years?
I don't look old enough, do I? Yeah.
No, what did you start when you were 8 years old or something?
No, oh, thank you. I knew I liked you for something. Yeah, no, I was a receptionist at a gym, and the aerobics instructor didn't turn up. So I think I had a Now 4 tape in the car, and they chucked me in front of the class, going back a few years. Yeah.
And it was just a bit of a step touch, and away you went.
For an hour and a half in Reebok high tops, you know what it was like.
Oh, yeah. I love those Reebok high tops. So in the gym that you work in, how many other trainers are there? Like, how competitive is it for business? It's
a small country area, farm-based, very rural. There's 2 gyms in there, about 10K radius, and there's 4 PTs at the gym I'm working in. So the competition is more about getting people to have a structured workout as opposed to within the gym, because we're all 4 very different PTs. So we're normally drawn, different people are drawn to different PTs, and it works. So we work as a team, and it is mainly more about getting more people active than competing between us. Yeah.
That's a great attitude for everybody to have.
Well, it is for me anyway. That's mine.
And tell me, with your business, do you operate 5 days a week, 6 days a week? How does that work?
I teach a class for 5 days a week. I work Saturday mornings as well with my PT clients, but I've given myself a day admin on a Tuesday as of this term. So I work Tuesday evening, but the rest of my days are quite full, and the Thursday I do strategic planning, or I might meet a new client to discuss the chance of us working together, or I'll meet another gym owner, or I'll just do my planning and creation on the Tuesday.
So is Tuesday the day that you watch JTInTheRaw, or am I on another day?
I do it as much as possible, JT. I'm going back over old ones at the moment on YouTube. So yesterday I was and often I just listen while I'm driving. I just pop you on and listen. through my, audio.
The cool thing is next year we're going to actually turn JTInTheRaw into a podcast as well. So people won't have to see my ugly face. I'll be able to just listen to a podcast. So,
well, I like how animated you get. It's obvious that you're passionate about what you do. So as you can, the hands happen, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting on my hands right now.
I need to learn that one. I'm gonna start now. Here we go.
So, when we were chatting at the awards, you said an idea resonated for you. What was that idea that I shared?
So you had a rant one day about PTs not writing down every workout that they do with their clients. Mm-hmm. And I'll admit, I didn't. I wrote a program for them, and then we'd work on that one, and I might write notes on it, but not every time they came in. So I thought, why not? Give it a go. And so I got every client's got a book, got different. I'm a color girl, look. So every client's got a book, and I took that on board, and I haven't looked back.
And so, what results have you got by giving every client a book? First of all, do the clients like the colors of that you've given them?
Yeah, and they got a water bottle to match their book for Christmas. So I carry a box in the car with everybody, and so when my clients come in, if I've got 3 or 4 back to back, I might have a pile of books. So it means, number one, is that their details are private. It's not like a piece of paper just open, waiting on my clipboard. So that's, first of all, awesome. Someone's got to be purposeful to open them, as opposed to just glancing over and catching someone's mobile number. The results for me, first of all, it's made my life easier. Cool. And that's just brilliant, right? When you've got a day full of clients, everything's written down. So I can see when they started with me, I can see when their measurements are due. I write at the top how they felt at the beginning of the workout. So if I've got someone managing depression or anxiety and they come in and they're a 3 out of 10, and they've dragged themselves to the gym, and we can make that a 4 out of 10 or more by the end of the workout, I've kind of done some of my work. The rest is injuries. I can write down how people are feeling. I can also tell somebody how long they've been feeling under the weather, because they say, I don't know how long I've been feeling like this. And I can actually say, well, actually, I did this with a client the other day. You've been feeling like this for a month. How about go and get your bloods done? Or, it's been an eye-opener for me about how much I can make notes. And obviously the obvious ones are birthdays and anniversaries and sons' graduations and all the rest of it. But the personal information I can feed back to my client about progression has been, it's just fantastic.
And tell me, you must have got some funny looks from maybe the other trainers in the gym going, why aren't you using an iPad or an iPhone or some other technological device as opposed to pen and paper?
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because I don't want to do that because it looks like I'll be on my phone. There's no, an iPad, I can see the difference, but I'm a paper and pencil girl. So I write everything down, and it means that it doesn't look like I'm taking photographs of my clients, because they don't like that. My clients don't like that. They don't want a photograph taken. If I take one, I'm showing them their tricep and then it gets deleted. It's not a record. And I'm also not doing Facebook when I'm going around. This is just for my client.
So your clients must love the fact that they kind of feel that they've got 100% of your attention for that session.
Yes, and one of them actually mentioned to me yesterday how, when they're on their warm-up, I can leave and set up their chest press on the right weight, because what we did last time, or what I'm planning on doing this time, because I'm changing their reps. We can, I'm ready for their next movement, so they're not wasting a moment in their workout. That's
a great insight for trainers that are watching. Yeah. And do you give them the book? Do you hold on to the book between sessions, or you do?
I do. And if they want, I've got one lady that likes to take a photograph of their workout that I've just written down, and she might repeat it. But most of my clients only train with me when they come in the gym.
Yep. Okay.
So I might have 3 workouts a week in one of these books.
And so one idea that you've got out of JTInTheRaw and implemented and seen success has been getting off a phone when you're with clients. Any other things that you've done? Because you were mentioning something earlier, and I just wanted to see if if you'd share that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, I loved your self-care. It was a really interesting one for me. I found that I've implemented some even before your, I won't say rant, but your episode on that. But also the jab, jab, right hook. Jab,
Yep.
jab, right hook. I am seeing a mentor in January, and I wanted to have a marketing plan kind of rough so that I can at least go in with something. And I just got a big piece of newspaper roll and just did my first 6 months. I'll send you a photograph of it. So I did that. I did jab, 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 and I called it cross. And just planned out how I was going to do it. And it's easy then for when I sit down with my PA to know what we're doing on a weekly basis. So we get a newsletter ready, we do a blog, you know, and it's just laid out. I've already turned it into a Word document. So it's easier to carry around than that big piece of paper. But that was awesome. It's been really beneficial.
Sorry, and you just said you've got a PA. So lots of personal trainers obviously try to do everything themselves. Having a PA, does that help?
Yes. Yeah. And she's someone that holds me accountable for doing the work that I have to do. But I spend 2 hours a week with, she's actually a client, and we do, you know, we actually just swap our services. Is very helpful. And it means that we actually work through my online calendar and make sure the invoicing is done and correct, and then I tell her the income that I've had, and by the time I get to my accounts process, it's like sweet. It's done on a weekly basis, so it's awesome.
And one of the things that you said when we met, and I can't remember the exact words that you used, but you did say also earlier before we got online that you're a big goal setter. So what sort of goals do you have personally over the next 12 months, both for the business, but as I say, for you personally?
So personally, I write a 100 list. Have you heard of the 100 list?
I've never heard of a 100 list. I like the sound of that. I might even use that.
I've got my 100 list. This is my 2017 100 list. It's a right mess. I've started my 2018 100. It's 100 things I want to do.
Awesome.
There's loads of them. So, and I carry them around, as you can tell. And they're everything from business wants to taking my girls away for an individual weekend separately. So, I've got some unusual ones on my 100 list this year. I want to present at FitX in 2018. One of my goals is to qualify in a brand new course for next year as well. I want to deliver a workshop. I want to actually deliver a blog every month. You can hold me accountable, team, everybody that's listening. So I want to do one every month. I've been kind of inconsistent this year. So something that I want to improve on, I'm going to pay myself first in 2018.
Oh, I like that one. I think that's a pretty important one.
It's I kind of leave myself to the end and see what's left over, and it's not, So there's some tidying up to do, stuff I've learned from the Fitness Business podcast, and every time I listen to something, something comes up and I write it down. So I've got my 100 list. And then for business, I've just done my first strategic plan, and mentoring is something that I'm going to start in 2018. It's going well.
You know, one of the things that I find very refreshing talking to you, Nikki, and I think you're a great example for personal trainers around the world, is that you have great clarity in the product that you deliver, but you also now have great clarity in the direction you want to take the business, and that you've taken time off the tools to work on the business to develop that clarity. And I think that's obviously going to reap the rewards early in 2018, but then throughout the year, because you just know the direction you're heading. Would that be right?
It's yes. I mean, I have a lot more clarity than I've ever had before. Where I'm going is a harder one, because I love taking opportunities. So it's okay to say that I've got goals, but actually, I've got values, and as long as the opportunities that I take on board fit with the values, my goals can change, and I'm happy with that. So, but I certainly want to grow my business in the next 2 or 3 years into a different animal. So there's not so much at the coalface work, so I can step back and maybe mentor a few people. I'm actually doing the skills active apprenticeship as an assessor. So by 2019, I should be a New Zealand assessor for group exercise. So that's the kind of movement I'm making. Yeah, it's going to be a big year.
That is so cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
I've taken up enough of your admin day.
Yeah.
So before we sign off, I've just got one last question for you. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Do you have any suggestion for people who are watching this, either live or on replay, what they should do 8 o'clock Sydney time every Friday?
Oh, yeah. Come to my class. No. Yeah, definitely check in or, watch it. And also not just watch and listen, but act on something that you get. I'm trying to listen to everything and choose one thing that I can implement, something that changes the way you do business or the way you show up. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And as you said, you watch, you tend not to watch live, but you watch on replay or on YouTube. So Thank you. I'm very grateful that you are my only watcher on YouTube, probably. But thank you so much. And look, I really appreciate you coming on board today. One of the things that really warms the cockles of my heart is when I hear people implementing ideas and doing stuff. Sometimes you talk and you just think that there are crickets out there. But when you actually hear stories of trainers and business owners that have implemented ideas, it really does make me feel very, very special and very proud of what you've achieved, not of what I do, but what you've done. So thank you for coming on board today and sharing your story.
Thank you for inviting me. I'll keep up the good work because we are listening and we are growing because of you. So thank you and Merry Christmas.
You have a Merry Christmas, and my fingers will be doubly crossed for you to speak at FitX next year. So,
yeah.
I think you've got a great story. So thanks, Nikki, for tuning in, for coming on board, and everybody for tuning in. JTInTheRaw will be here this Friday, 8 a.m. Sydney time, 10 a.m. Auckland time, whatever time it is in LA, I don't know, or New York or London. You'll just have to work that out yourselves. So we're going to catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you.